February 2009, Congress passed a $787 billion stimulus plan. And this was a statement of congressional priorities affecting 2 generations. I say 2 generations because no one in this room will still be in the workforce when this bill is finally paid off. And every single thing that was included in that bill was deemed by Congress to be more important than historic preservation. And don't get me wrong, it's not the fault of the failure in part of the National Trust or Preservation Action to lobby effective. The haste, the complexity, and the secrecy with which this bill was put together meant that unless you were a Democratic member of an Appropriations Committee, the chance of influencing the final package was virtually non-existent. Instead, it represents how much as a preservation movement we need to do in the next 50 years to be as relevant as we ought to be. The stimulus bill was about jobs, about economic development, about sustainable development, 3 things that historic preservation does better than almost any other activity, and it should have been an obvious priority, and yet we didn't make the short list, we didn't make the long list, we didn't make the footnotes. Well, I'm mistaken there. In the first draft, there was $55 million for historic preservation, but that was one of the few things that got cut. And even if it had been left in, it was a statistically meaningless amount. The interest accrued on the stimulus spending between the time you had lunch today and right now is more than the $55 million that was designated for historic preservation. And after the preservation allocation was cut, here's what I found posted on the website of a financial institution. Previously, the bill contained an item that would give a big payday to historic preservation, a $55 million payday to be exact. I can't say that I know what the money was going to fund exactly. Much of the historic preservation mostly involves leaving things alone, but I can say there isn't a correlation between historic preservation and improving the economy. Well, if we know something and somebody else doesn't, that's not their fault, that's our fault. We obviously have not made our case.